continuing where I left off. So yeah, just be playing for a while today, and hope things go well. It's kind of a I think I played a little bit more since I last played, but I played offline. Um, it's I don't want to say, like, I mean, I keep saying this, but this is a fun game. Like, it feels right now, like, I mean, I don't think I'm that far. Like, sometimes I feel like I'm far into a game, but I also feel like maybe I haven't even scratched the surface. It seems like, like when I look at the challenge progression or the quest progression bar, it seems like I'm moving along pretty well, and it's like, man, I don't quite want to finish the game because I'm enjoying it. So it just kind of feels like, I don't know, like I just don't want it to end. But let's see. So quest. So yeah, I'm like already almost a quarter of the way through. But the main quest is like let's see. I've already got, so I'm almost like, what is that? 3/5 of the way done, which is kind of like, it feels like, yeah, I just started and I'm already almost done, which is kind of like not frustrating, but it's like, unless there's a second tier of more stuff that unlocks, but it's just kind of like, man, that sucks. Like, I don't know if there's like these side things are okay, but I don't know. That's kind of, if this is it, like if there's only, unless these are super long, I don't know. It just kind of feels like there's, it just feels like there should be more to it. But anyway, I can see what the reviewer said. If they said the storyline was short, that would. Let's look it up, see what. Sorry, I just went on this rabbit hole, and they about pancreatic cancer vaccine, which is interesting. Let's sign me up. Let's see here. So this is interesting. Wired magazine gave it a 1 out of 10. GameSpot gave it a 6 out of 10. A lot of fans out of 1,500 reviews, like mostly are 5 stars, which is interesting. So, oh, here we go. When I go to reviews, I typically tend to lean towards IGN. I feel like they've got a pretty decent, like, I feel like they're pretty spot on, but okay. So this one right here, the tag, like the line says, I was able to get through the main story in 32 hours. Let's see what they do. Like, I always like to jump down to the very end. Usually they give like a verdict. In nearly every way, Hogwarts Legacy is the Harry Potter RPG I've always wanted to play. It's an open world adventure. It captures all the excitement and wonder of the wizarding world with its memorable new character, challenging and nuanced combat, and wonderfully executed Hogwarts student fantasy that keeps me glued to my controller for dozens of hours. It's certainly weighed down by technical issues, lackluster main story, and some poor enemy variety, but even those couldn't come close to bringing its enchantment spell over me. I would have to agree. I mean, some of the enemies you face, like the spiders and I forgot, like there's like a kind of like a frog thing. Not super exciting. I mean, the goblins are kind of the run of the mill, but it would be expected for like a Harry Potter franchise. And then the enemies, like the wizard enemies, are interesting. It's like they're different. Obviously, they're not Death Eaters, but you know, it's kind of a similar vein there. That's the one thing that's kind of disappointing is like 32 hours to beat the main. Like if you just play it straight, so it like a couple of days worth of playing the game, you would you'd finish the game up.
You won't be disappointed, I can promise you that.
I really like this, the Venom. I like this. It's nice, like a little block. Like you can put this out if you put this out, and you like creates like a little nice blocking wall, so enemies can't really go around it without getting attacked. It's kind of, and it lasts a while. The cabbage is nice too. Buy some.
You won't be disappointed, I can promise you that. So nice of you to stop by.
There's certain honestly, this would be has it been worth the money that I've been put into it? I think so. Like it's been, you know, let me see. I bought the bonus stuff, so it's been nice. I don't feel like I've wasted my money on this. I'm certainly not gonna like tell you that to rush out and spend that kind of money if that's not within your budget. So I'd also say that if you're like looking to, if you're not ready, like wanting to jump into this right away, by all means, just wait until it becomes like one of the greatest hits, which I'm pretty sure it'll be one of those, like, because it's already done like $1 billion. I don't know what the actual number is for those games that have to hit that number or that get that classification for like PlayStation's greatest hits. But yeah, I think this would be definitely a game that would be in that scope. But again, I don't. If that's where you want to like wait, that's fine. I never want to rush anybody into like. Understand that, like that's clearly got to be a like jump platform to platform, because there's nothing else there. I tried the repair thing, but anyway, yeah. I mean, it's been, for me, this has been like, it's been worthwhile, like the expense. I also set money aside for it, so it wasn't like
Revelio. Fascinating, truly fascinating. Wish I had the energy.
Excuse me, madam. I thought I heard you say something.
Yes, indeed. Talking to myself again. I find myself to be quite the engaging conversationalist since my husband passed. Madam Althea Twiddle, pleased to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, Madam Twiddle.
You know, you might be interested in this. You young people love this sort of thing. My husband often ruminated on the mysterious statue just outside our hamlet. Some sort of archaic puzzle involving vases, he would insist. I stumbled upon it today when I had a burst of energy and extended my morning constitutional a bit longer than usual.
An archaic puzzle. Sounds fascinating.
You see, I suspected you'd be interested, and wait till I tell you about the rumours surrounding this particular puzzle. My husband Greville insisted that solving the puzzle would reveal a magical challenge of sorts. The man was intrigued by everything. He was about to try and solve it himself when... Perhaps you could take a look. I'd be rather interested to hear what, if anything, you find.
If I happen to see it, I'll have a look.
Ah, the spirit of youth. I do hope you'll be able to solve the puzzle. If not for me, then in Greville's memory.
The one thing I would say is, like, I do wish they had,
I should look into the statue Madam Twiddle mentioned.
I think that...
Revelio!
And I don't think I'm the only person I've ever said this, but... multiplayer, this missed opportunity here, the huge multiplayer opportunity here, for Quidditch and, you know, any other games that they could play, and then also, like, co-op, doing co-op missions, doing the story mode co-op. Huge opportunity missed there, but maybe down the line DLC, or maybe if they make a sequel. I can't imagine that. I don't know how this ends. I haven't finished it yet, but
I know what that means. Merlin trial.
But
looked rather dark in there. Never stopped me before.
I think that'd be the direction they should add. They should go into this, like full on open world experience with multiple players, students, if you will. Just like Red Dead Redemption 2 did. Well, even Red Dead, the first one had some, like, multiplayer, but it wasn't like, I don't think it was like the same level.
This looks like the statue Madam Twiddle mentioned. Revelio. Why are there so many vases around here? I suppose I should try to find all the vases. I think there should only be a few more vases. Revelio. Revelio. Incendio. I'm nearly finished. One more vase. That's it. I should tell Madame Twiddle about what happened. Incendio!
That wasn't much of a puzzle. That was more just break stuff.
Levioso! Expelliarmus! Accio! Levioso! Expelliarmus! Levioso! Protego! Expelliarmus! 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 Accio! Should think they felt that in London. Levioso! Accio! Incendio! Expelliarmus! Accio! Incendio! Expelliarmus! Accio! Incendio!
Up for a bit of dying, are we? And intruder!
Levioso! Incendio!
We're here to see this!
Accio! Levioso! Incendio! Expelliarmus! Levioso! Incendio!
I will have it all!
Accio! Incendio! Expelliarmus! Accio!
That's kind of fun. I don't know how long those challenges last or the waves last for. Maybe it's a thing you just play forever. I don't know. It's kind of neat way to test yourself against a multitude of different enemies. So.
Wonder if I'm safe to explore in there. Revelio! Incendio!
I'm ready. I'm ready to learn that unlock spell. I feel like it's just like I've been around those long enough.
Mrs. Twiddle, your husband was right. The statue was part of a puzzle.
Oh, really? How exciting!
Yes, I had to destroy a number of large vases, and that seemed to activate some sort of charm on the statue.
Well done. Oh, I miss having someone like you around with a thirst for knowledge and a quick mind. Well, my curiosity has been satisfied. Thank you for that. Who knows what I'll encounter on my next constitutional? Oh, my husband would be so pleased to know he was right about that statue.
I mean, she could have figured that out. Like, why didn't she just go? I don't know that she needed my help doing that. Maybe she was just trying to lure me in. trying to get underneath my robes.
Hello, nice to meet you.
Oh, hello. The name is Porrick Haggerty, and this is my shop. What may I help you with?
I'd like to ask you about your shop, if you don't mind.
Certainly, that'd be fine. What would you like to know?
I hear there's a goblin mine near here. Have you ever seen it?
I've been near it, but never in it. I could likely find some valuable beast products, but it's not worth the risk. Ranrock's loyalists are not ones to be messed with.
What do you have for sale?
Glad you were able to stop by.
Revelio. Let's see what's up your sleeve this time, Merlin. There's no telling. Incendio! Revelio. Incendio.
He's got. They have to be like a timed based, because there's like every time it goes. Let me see if I can find it. To here.
Revelio.
I'm not quite sure how like how would you? I'm not quite sure how an open world MMO would work, but as far as like, because it's kind of a small area. I mean, that you'd have this school, you'd have Hogsmeade, and then you'd have just the open space. Like, I think the problem would be like you'd have to have multiple servers to available to have where people to roam around in, and I think you'd have to have like different levels of challenges to make it so that, you know, you could have, as people gain experience, they could go
Mysterious and a bit unsettling.
defeat some
What to
quests
do?
or like harder quests. But I think that you'd have to have it's kind of like the way like DMZ is in Call of Duty. You'd have to have multiple servers in order to get to support players not bumping into each other all the time. Because if they just had one server for DMZ, it'd be total chaos. Like, people would be basically spawning next to each other and then immediately killing each other. And it'd be maybe fun for a second, but And I don't know how combat would work, like, if you would have to agree to a duel, like, if somebody showed up here, like, let's say I was walking along, and somebody showed up here, and they're like,
Incendio!
like, and I just see them, and they're like, oh, you wanna, like, this person's challenging you to a duel. And then would it be the same, like, where they'd be a looting system? Like, would they take your is it galleons? Or they take your potions? I mean, that would kind of, that would suck. I mean, so I think there's, if that's that'd be, I mean, but I think it'd still be great. Like, it's still, or maybe they have like this battle arena where you could go and duel it out, where there's no, it's just like you casting spells, and maybe kind of like the gulag is, and whoever wins that round gets ranks up, and then also gets like some treasures for their, for the win. I don't know. Or you could do a battleground where you, like this battle arena where you and a partner would go in and you would do this together, and the, like kind of like zombies, and is for Call of Duty, and keep fighting round after round until you all both were taken out.
Revelio.
It's kind of interesting.
Reminds me of the time I nearly fell out of a car. I was only young, mind. Well, not like I'd fall out that. Lucky if I fit in one.
Up for a bit of dying, are we?
It's like almost like Batman jumping down, and I swoop down.
Expelliarmus. Accio. Levioso. Incendio. Revelio.
And maybe you could join like two different, like maybe you join the houses, and then they have like sub different groups, like, so if you're like
Expelliarmus. Accio. Incendio. Levioso. Incendio. Levioso. Accio. Incendio. Revelio.
maybe you have like, once you've gotten your houses selected, you choose like whether or not you want to go down like a good path or a bad path, which is like maybe you, like, I don't know, just take like for example, they do like Dumbledore's army versus Death Eaters, something of that nature, and if you do, like, the more they have like some built-in morality system, the more you like attack townsfolk or whatever the case may be, the more you do bad things, like the more you would shift over to like the Death Eaters.
Expelliarmus. Accio. Agent.
Incendio. A miss! Expelliarmus.
I shall avenge.
Accio.
Is that the
Incendio. Levioso.
An utterly pitiful display.
Revelio.
And then obviously like you'd have like Quidditch or Quidditch tournament where you could hop in and play different like spots on the team.
Revelio.
I don't know. I definitely think that would be, I mean, a market for that type of gameplay. I mean, maybe you make the school grounds like a non, like, combative arena, like where you couldn't fight students like others. Maybe you could duel, but not to like. I know you know that you duel to death in this game, like in a multiplayer, but it would be like, okay, you just respawn and whatnot. But then maybe the school grounds would be
Revelio.
would be kind of a neutral site, or maybe you'd have to like the only way to duel is in the dueling arena in the school, but yeah, I think like different quests that you could do throughout the that'd be kind of cool, be neat, something different, all within the Harry Potter universe. I don't know, maybe if they've already tried some of this stuff. I don't think they have, but I think it's the one thing. This is the one thing I took issue is like you couldn't jump out of the water, like you couldn't pull yourself out of the water, like you have to find a flat surface to get out. Another thing, like, they could do like the school tournament where they have these different schools, or even maybe they make it such a larger world, and you go to the different schools they talked about. Like I forgot what the girl's name is, but she said like there's another school you can go to. And then obviously like from the books, there was like these different schools within that came during the Tournament of Champions, was it? Maybe I'm
Revelio.
But certainly think there's plenty of opportunity to expand and explore this universe in a larger scale, and also in like with other players. But I mean, fifth year, so the fifth year in the, if this story ends well enough to where it's like obviously like it could come back for this fifth and sixth year.
Revelio.
So I definitely think there's plenty of opportunities for more story here. but I don't think they'll have a game out for a while.
Revelio.
So nice of you to stop by.
Let's see if they're if they. Oh, I want to Google if they have any plans to make a sequel. If they've announced anything or like. As of a few weeks ago, they haven't made any official announcements, but let's see. Maybe it's still prematurely, but I would think like they did like $1 billion in sales from this game, like, and the fact that there's still plenty of interest in the Hogwarts universe, or that there's just got to be an opportunity there. Like, I can't imagine. I imagine this will be like a thing for a while that people want to continue to explore, and so long as I think it's like done right, obviously, but nothing derails like a franchise if it's got no real direction. It's kind of like, to me, like what happened with the original, some of those very first like Superman movies. They didn't really have a direction, and so, and even the original Batman movies, like with Michael Keaton, and once Tim Burton and Michael Keaton left, it's kind of like open the doors to kind of go off the rails a little bit. And I think that's what part of that makes it like a universe successful, is having like, especially within the like Marvel or something, a DC, is to have like somebody who has at the helm that has like a clear vision, or has like a solid direction and firm grasp on how each character might play in that universe, or how that the stories that they will want the directions they'll want to do. Because I think once you start trading hands and you start giving it over to different directors, and it starts to like take its own different direction, and it loses its focus, and then it becomes the sort of stuff you see with the Joel Schumacher movies, and yeah. Even with like Superman, it was like it just became kind of like the original ones with Christopher Reeves. It just lost all of its like sort of like energy. No, I don't. Like, I think there's still with with all that said, like, I think even if you have, I think you can, that even though you have that sort of a top-down approach and direction, I still think that means you have some allowance of flexibility to allow the artists and writers to create content within that universe, so long as they are given clear guidance as far as like, or expectations at least, as far as like where the story needs to head, as far as like how it ties into a great, like, the bigger world. And that's where like you get to see stuff like where I think like to some degree, like, even though it's still a Marvel property, I think like things like, I think the next Deadpool movie will be that, where it has some little more flexibility and some creativity, where it may not be as like by the numbers. But again, with it having been out yet, I could be 100% wrong, which I probably am. It's alright though. But I do think, like, if, like I said, like if you at least set the expectations and know, like, they know where they're supposed to go, or at least know, like, to some degree, like, how the story is supposed to the story is supposed to point people to the next phase. Like, there's still that creativity in that, like, you can tell the stories so like Star Wars Visions would be an example I could point to. It's like, oh, there's some creativity, like there's different art styles and whatnot that help tell the story, the overall arching story, but it still ties in with the back to the main universe. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Let's see. I'm not a big fan of like the like, it's not terrible, but it just like this menu selection up here. One, I don't really like that it takes, like, there's the load time between like if you're trying to just go all the way over, like you gotta let it load a little bit. Like you just can't click. Like if I want to get over to inventory, I guess I could select it, but if I want to use the shoulder buttons, you kind of have to let it load for a second. And even then, when you're able to select it, it's not like I'm able to, like, oh, I didn't want to select that. I want to select the quests. I meant to select quests. It's not like a very fluid thing, but let's do the flying class. The one thing I will say is, like, there's a lot, like, I feel like this game has spent quite a bit of time teaching you how to play versus, like, I think and that was in like kind of the review is like the with IGN said like as I think about it like I agree with that like it feels like there's a lot of like hand holding and maybe that's just because of its target audience but it feels like you know it's kind of rudimentary like as far as like what the controls are so like to me it's like it, they should trust their audience a little more like give a little more slack and then go into like different parts elements of the story and being also like I'm still learning stuff but I'm already like 3/5 of the way done with the game the main storyline but I haven't even unlocked like I don't even think I've unlocked like nearly all the spells I could possibly learn. Let's see, so there's 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 23 spells, and I still have 20 spells, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So I said it's 23 spells. So 16, I don't know what that percentage is, but it's pretty high. Like it feels like for being almost 3/5 of the way done. Like I don't know. It kind of feels like they're like obviously you don't want to like make somebody overpowered and then that they can breeze through the game, but it just like feels like you should be unlocking more stuff. But oh well. Trying to find like see if there's like a like the like to unlock stuff. Oh yeah. Anyway. You know, but thing is with all these like issues or whatever the things I perceive as issues or things I think are problems with the game, like I think with DLC or with uh, oh whatchamacallit, uh, with a new game, I think they're they can always improve upon those things within the sequel, which I think they'll make. Um, and I think that's where the sequel might be more like one of those things where it's like kind of like Grand Theft Auto, where we like once they release that sequel, I don't think you'll get a third game for a very long time. Like just because like there's so many things like they can milk that like so long as they continue to release DLC and content you could buy and like purchase, like they'll milk that cow forever.
Who do you think will fall from their broom first?
Everybody grab a broom, and we shall get started.
Okay.
Mr. Clopton, your attention, please.
Sorry, Madam Kagawa.
Everyone, please welcome a new student to our flying class.
Welcome.
The goal of today is to remind all of you how to maneuver on a broomstick safely, as broom flight is, first and foremost, a means of transportation.
This, I fear, some of you have forgotten.
Diving, rolling, and loop-the-loops will not be taught or in fact tolerated in this class. We'll leave that to professional Quidditch players, like the Toyohashi Tengu.
Boo!
Not a fan, I take it? Now, let's see how well everyone kept up with their practice over the summer holidays. For those who need a refresher, step up to your broom, say up firmly and clearly, then kick your leg over and rest your weight on the seat. Up! Thank you. Now, your turn. Up.
Up, you stupid ratty school broom!
Up.
One leg over, so there's a leg on each side. None of that side saddle nonsense. A gust of wind will throw you right off. And if you hear my whistle while you're in flight, ground yourself at once. Good. Now, for your first lesson, fly through each ring in the courtyard. Do take care. The brooms are school property. I
Wish I
want
had
them
my own
returned in
broom.
one piece.
Ah! I think I'm getting the hang of this.
Well done. Now that you're acclimatized to your broom, let's see how well you manage with a more advanced exercise, shall we? This next set of rings will take you around the grounds for more of a challenge.
What a view!
Hello! Nice day for a flight!
Ah, the old boathouse. Wish you could have experienced crossing the lake as a first year.
I feel like there's going to be a race challenge, like
Whoa! Our aquatic resident likes to make an appearance once in a while.
Made it! Oh, did anyone else see that?
oh.
Oh, well done! Have a moment? I say, I watched you fly through those rings. You seem to handle yourself on that dusty school broom well enough. I'd imagine you're ready for something a bit more challenging. But I'm getting ahead of myself. We haven't properly met. I'm Everett Clopton. Am I right in suspecting that a Gryffindor like you might be interested in a high-flying adventure?
Can't say no to that. What did you have in mind?
A bit of a detour, so to speak. Follow me. The tour is about to begin. Follow closely now. Right now, we're flying over the Transfiguration Courtyard. Lovely as ever. Let's hope the headmaster isn't having tea by the window today. Nice to get above it all, isn't it? Ahead of the gardens, the Hufflepuff common room windows just peek out. Bit claustrophobic for my taste.
How is Everett flying so quickly?
Here's something handy to know. Lean forward for a burst of speed. Helpful if you need to escape a tricky situation.
Ha ha! Now that's more like it!
You sure you're not part hippogriff? There's the famous bridge. Think of all the magic holding it up. I mean, look at it. And Meowlery. That's a bit of solid architecture, isn't it?
Flying tips and a jaunt around Hogwarts. This is quite the tour, Everett.
That's Kagawa's whistle. This concludes our tour. Let's hurry back. Looks like she's already dismissed class. Better hurry and hand in our brooms. Dismount here.
And where have you two been?
Oh, hello, Professor. We were trying to get a bit of extra practice in.
Hefty points will be taken from each of you for not following my instructions. Mr. Clopton, I am disappointed in you. You're in this class because you're still not showing yourself, or frankly, your broom the proper respect.
But, Professor...
Enough. Class is finished for the day. As for you, you do well to use better judgment in the future. Chin up. That was some rather good flying.
Sorry about that business with Kagawa, but you have to admit, those views were worth it.
It was worth losing a few house points for that detour.
You seem at home on a broom. Bet if you had a fancy model, you could fly laps around Imelda. She's Kagawa's favorite. I could show her a thing or two if I had my own broom. Hate having to return the school broom after class.
Perhaps I have to purchase a broom then?
If you can, you should. Wish I could. I recommend visiting Albie Weeks at Spintwitches in Hogsmeade. He's always looking to test new models. I'll keep an eye out for you in the sky. If I could afford the new Bright Spark broom at Spintwitches, I'd be on it now.
It's pretty amazing.
I've not forgotten about our library venture. How did you fare? If you're keen for some illicit spell practice, meet me outside the Defense Against the Dark Arts classroom. I know a discreet place near there.
Good day to you. I require assistance with a delivery and thought you might be interested. Please visit me at J. Pippin's Potions if you'd like to earn a few coins.
Please meet me in the 7th floor corridor as soon as you can. I have an idea for somewhere you can focus on your studies, away from prying eyes and distractions.
Everybody's trying to get me in like little private areas. What's up?
Revelio.
Hey Jose, what's up? Uh-huh. Yeah. So I just figured you just replace them both, but what I can order more. Well, I know they have to match. I'm just saying you can replace, like, take that old core out and or get them matching, but I can order more. That's fine. What 6? Well, then, and let me know which ones you need, like or does it matter to the number, the letter? Yeah. Okay. Oh, so I thought I got some, like, not that long ago. Okay. I'll order some. I'm okay. Well, I mean, let me know. I mean, I can order more. So, you want 10? What is that? The two sets, two keys. Okay. So I need three cores per letter. Yeah. Right. I'll do that. I'll order. So that's the 10 of those 10 sets of 3. Okay. Okay. Right. Okay. All right. Yep. Bye bye.
Revelio.
Sorry about that. Do you know how much, like, this would be, like, the grossest house to be in? Like, do you know how much crap there would be? I mean, I'm sure, like, with wizards you could just, like, wave your wand and clean it up quickly, but
Lumos.
Is it?
Levioso.
The detail, that's so incredible, like the detail on those, like the birds. I mean, this world in general has been pretty, I mean, the stones on this stuff is pretty amazing. Yeah, it's all pretty interesting. Anyway, I'll be right back.
Revelio.
I wonder how they determine like what who makes the costume. Like there's like an in-game costume designer. Like how do they determine? I have so many of these, but none of them like they don't really do anything. They don't give any. Right now they don't give any enhancement to the wand itself. It's just all aesthetic. So. Where it adds the another thing about this is there's not a lot of like choice of I mean I don't mind the game in itself is you don't have to make a choice between it's always a clear it's always a clear cut it's always going to improve your offense or defense and it's always going to go up. It's 1 second.
Revelio. Accio.
kind of want to go to the herbology class and see if I can maybe plant some seeds or maybe it's potions. I need to go to potions because I got all these things. I got all these like like the rocks and all that crap that's like just collecting in my inventory. Just don't know where it's at. Charms. It wouldn't be charms, would it? We'll see, I guess. It'd be potions. Oh well. Whew, excuse me. Potions. I mean, I really need to do the herbology anyway. Like, I'm pretty sure I got something there that I grew like 2 days ago, and it's probably all the way grown.
Now, was it 2 pinches of Angelica or 3?
Washington Post says that the new Zelda game is basically, let's see what it said. The Washington Post review. I don't know what they're. I'm assuming since they say it's perfect, like it perfects it, it's a 4 out of 4 stars. Let's see. In a modern media landscape dominated by the creators, people communicate their ideas and desires through unique, singular methods. The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom fuses that philosophy of self-expression with the series' classic formula. This game that encourages players to build their own solutions. Tears of the Kingdom is a miracle of engineering and elegant artifice. I'm probably mispronouncing it. Especially since it runs on aging, decade-old technology inside Nintendo Switch. It unlocks parts of your creativity, forcing you to use elementary knowledge of physics and chemistry to overcome challenges. I'm not going to tap in the link, but they gave it like... give it a pretty good score, I suppose. I think that's interesting, though, like that you can create that you can create like your own chemicals, or create your own like solutions using what you can find in the environment. I think that's gonna, like, I don't know if that changes anything within the gaming sphere. I think maybe like survival games could benefit from that. Just because, you know, if you're, they could lean into, like, if you're gonna build, like, have to survive in this forest, you'd have to build this structure using real world physics, real world solutions in order to get that stuff figured out. I've only played like a few, like a handful of like games, or Zelda games. Like, I don't even remember the last game I played. But it was, you know, it's fun. Like, Into the Wild. Is that the sound right? But I remember, like, way long ago, like, very first Zelda game came out. I remember it being like, not really enjoying it. Like, it was very, like, it was a top-down game, and it was very, I don't remember it being very, interesting to me. Excuse me. But, I know people loved it, but I don't know. Just couldn't get into it. I think this is where, in that potions thing, I think in your points, your skill points, you can increase your potion time, like how long it takes you to create potions. That's the thing about this, like, the in-game economy is not very great, you know, as far as, like, if I can collect a lot of this stuff out in the wild, like, you may not even need the merchants unless you're, like, in a pinch. So it's kind of like odd, and like, as far as I could tell, the clothing that was available, like, I'm getting just as much from the like, just finding treasures around the map. So it's almost like, what's the point? Like, I don't know. It just didn't seem like they really developed that out yet. I mean, fleshed it out, but BRB. I don't know. It just seems like there's not like a ton of reasons to use merchants unless you're out in the out and you can't like brew your own potions. But I would imagine like at some point there'll be a point where you could brew stuff. Okay, here's my pot. I guess it just continuously brews that. Can I not like get anything else? Hey yo, lady. Hottest teacher in Hogwarts. How do I get more pots to plant stuff? Oh well. That's another thing is like you can brew some or you can grow some of this stuff. So it's like there's not a lot of incentive to visit merchants. Let's see. Let's go to Hogsmeade for a second and see if there's that. Isn't there? There's got to be somebody that has that. Maybe I can buy a broom or something.
What are you up to now?
Revelio.
Come in, look around, and if you've been eating chocolate frogs, please refrain from touching. You won't be disappointed. That's a Gladrag's promise.
Suspect you have a sharp eye for fashion. Be sure to
Revelio.
stop by when you're about.
Revelio.
I told you not to go down that path.
Miss Peck from Brood and Peck said a customer lost a diricle around here. I know we're not supposed to go down there. I just thought...
You could have got us in a lot of trouble.
Revelio.
Very sorry, Father. Only she said I might earn a reward. Instead, I just wasted our time. There you are! Ha! Finally!
Never mind, I'll fix it. As always.
Revelio. Revelio.
Ah, new face. Wonderful.
Hello, Mr. Weeks, is it?
Albie Weeks at your service. Welcome to Spintwitches. Apologies if you came by before and weren't able to come in. Shop's been closed since trade routes were disrupted. Had to travel as far as London to meet with my supplier. And I've only just returned, thankfully with inventory. I presume you're in the market for a new broom? Got a few rare U-weavers available. Ember Dash, Silver Arrows. Wind Wisps too. No matter what broom you choose, you'll be pleased. They're all exceptional, both in quality and performance.
You said disrupted trade routes caused you to close Spintwitches?
Terrible it's been. Trade routes reported as unusable. Evidently criminals were overtaking roads, threatening hamlets. I can fly safely almost anywhere, but you try flying with an inventory of brooms on your back. No easy feat. Right then, back to work. If a particular broom takes your fancy, just let me know.
Sounds quite the array of brooms. I'll have a look around. Thank you.
That item is of the highest quality. That item is of the highest quality. That item is of the highest quality.
None of these really stand out as like super exciting.
That item is of the highest quality. That item is of the highest quality. You'll be thrilled with that broom, I promise you. Whilst nearly any broom will certainly be a step up from the practice brooms in Kagawa's class, they all have their limitations. You seem to be a flyer who might be interested in, say, some enhancements?
Go on.
Ha! Knew I was right about you. I think you'll be quite happy with the performance of any broom at lower altitudes. But you may notice that speed consistency tends to falter as you rise. I believe I can remedy this issue. I have some ideas for enchantments, upgrades, if you will, that will improve the performance of any broom you fly. What I need is someone to conduct a broom flight and report back to me so I can perfect the upgrades. As it happens, another Hogwarts student, Imelda Reyes, is using abandoned broom courses for time trials. Clever girl. An ideal situation for collecting flight statistics. If you were to compete for the best time and succeed, then report back to me with how your broom behaved, I could complete work on my first upgrade. What say?
Sounds as if you took Kagawa's class.
I did, but my focus on the technical elements of brooms rather than the art of flying drove her mad. She thinks it fitting I run Spintwitches now. I don't reckon either of us ever pictured me batting away bludgers for the Cannons or Puddlemere United. And I find a certain satisfaction in winning over the naysayers who think I may be too young to run this shop. With your help, I can continue proving myself the most knowledgeable purveyor of wizarding sporting goods around.
That sounds intriguing. I'll see what I can do.
Thank you. It'll be worth your while. If I'm right, the new upgrade ought to enhance brooms in every regard. And I can give you a special price. The time trial should be a bit of fun too. Go to the Quidditch pitch and Imelda Reyes will sort you out. Once you've beaten Imelda's time, be sure to let me know.
Can't help but admire Mr. Weeks' enthusiasm.
Revelio.
This hamlet is simply crawling with life.
Lumos. Revelio. Reparo. Levioso. Accio. Levioso. Reparo. Revelio. Accio.
I can't go back there.
Is there something I can help you with, Mr.
Adley? Edgar Adley? No. No, I don't think so. Blast Milo and his mad schemes.
Milo?
He was my friend. Came to me a few days ago with a brilliant plan to make some quick galleons. All I had to do was follow him into the Forbidden Forest. Had I known he'd wanted to procure venom from a living acromantula. Oh, poor Milo. He didn't deserve to go like that.
I'm very sorry to hear about your friend.
Oh, thank you. I can't think of it. Milo's body is still in that cave with the absconder.
The absconder?
Aye, Milo's name for the acromantula. He did have a flair for the dramatic. In fact, as he died, Milo begged me to take his heirloom pocket watch, so that his daughter would have something to remember him by. But I fled.
If I have time, I can try to collect the heirloom watch, Mr. Adley.
You can't possibly go to the acromantula's cave. You'd be killed. Please, forget I said anything.
Nah, it's too late, dude.
Now, where could that acromantula be?
Revelio. Revelio. Incendio. Levioso. Revelio. Professor Weasley?
Somewhere away from prying eyes.
Forgive me, the headmaster stopped me and I... Merlin's beard. I see you've wasted no time. Well done. Shall we?
After you, Professor. What is this place?
This is the Room of Requirement. It only appears when one is in real need of it. Ordinarily, a student might stumble upon this room entirely by accident. If ever. I'd only planned to suggest to you how to find it by walking past that bit of wall, focusing on what you need. But you've managed to reveal the room on your own. While I'm here, we should take advantage of the moment. Now, where is Deke? He must have sneaked past and gone ahead.
Deke, Professor.
The house elf I was speaking to in my classroom your first day. Thought he might help you use the room once you've found it.
Revelio. Levioso.
There's no chance I'm clambering over this mess. This presents the perfect opportunity to teach you Evanesco, the vanishing spell. You can cast Evanesco to vanish certain objects, such as these chairs and other things here in the room. I suggest you practice the wand movements first, then you can clear the chairs away. Splendid. Now, cast Evanesco. Excellent work. You'll note that you are now in possession
Revelio.
of the Moonstone. We shall discuss its uses later. Let's move on. Where in Merlin's name is that elf? Is that... Goodness. My old school bag. I wondered where that had got to. I can't believe it's still here. I'll just take a
Revelio.
look at this. Give you an opportunity to explore on your own until we locate Deke.
Yes, Professor.
Dear, can't you keep it down? Some of us are trying to rest.
Lumos. Revelio. Revelio. Accio. Revelio.
Hope this isn't as precarious as it looks.
An intruder! Stop them!
Revelio.
No, not... That's not helpful, you worthless pile of tin!
Revelio.
How does anyone other than a house elf manage to get around in here?
Revelio.
What was that? Was that a golden stitch?
Perhaps you should summon your wits and find out.
Revelio. Accio. Revelio.
I guess you could just buy a bunch of different brooms.
Incendio! Accio! Revelio.
What if you get some reward for spinning all the
I hope that
globes?
house elf can find us in here.
Yikes! Careful! Huh? Oh, there you are. Wait right there. Deke will come to you. Hello.
Ah, Deke, we've been looking for you.
Apologies, Professor Weasley. Deke was looking through some of what's appeared in the room since Deke was last here. Is this the student?
Indeed it is.
Deke is honored to meet you.
Deke has been a friend since I was a second year. We discovered this room together. I mentioned you to Deke. We believe that you might be able to benefit from this room like I did. Deke, would you be so kind?
Of course, Professor Weasley. The Room of Requirement will always be equipped for the Seeker's needs. It's unplottable, so won't appear on any map. Most happen upon it by accident, if ever. Deke's seen students in need of an extra file for potions stumble upon the room filled with them. You seem to have accessed it in its form as the Room of Hidden Things.
I was thinking about needing a place away from prying eyes. Brilliant.
Oh, that explains it then.
What I need specifically is a place where I can catch up on my schoolwork without distraction.
Well then, the room can provide you with precisely that. Now, it's time to focus on what you need. Just close your eyes. Imagine the room precisely as you need it. The room will do the rest.
You've given yourself quite a canvas to work with. I look forward to seeing what you do with the space. Ah, and it seems the room has provided you with a desk of description. Excellent. It can identify unfamiliar items of clothing. One should always understand the effects of anything in which one is clothed. You'll find plenty of items of clothing that need to be identified. The desk will be an invaluable resource.
I imagine the desk of description will come in handy.
It will. I hope you'll take advantage of it. Now, I'll give you a brief lesson in conjuring. The room might not provide everything you need on its own.
Conjuring?
Yes, the magic of creating or conjuring objects. I'll teach you. Very good. When conjuring more complex objects, you'll need what's called a spellcraft. Spellcrafts are like recipes. They list the ingredients or resources needed to conjure a particular object. You should have acquired some for a potion station and potting table from tomes and scrolls in Hogsmeade.
I did. Where can I find the resources I need?
While resources such as moonstone can be obtained throughout the Highlands, it's much safer and easier to purchase them. They can also be collected by vanishing objects in the room, such as the chairs you vanished earlier. In fact, you should have enough resources for now.
I see. Can I regain resources by vanishing something I've already conjured?
You can indeed. Quite perceptive. Why don't you give it a try? Go ahead and conjure the potion station and potting table. You should find both familiar, since they'll resemble the ones you've already used to study magical plants and brew potions in class. You can use these whenever you need to brew potions or grow plants. Presuming, of course, you've collected any seeds or potion ingredients you need in Hogsmeade or outside the castle grounds. Deke will be here to answer any questions you may have. Do not underestimate his insights.
Can you tell me a bit more about Deke?
He's been at Hogwarts longer than I have, and seems to know its every nook, cranny, and secret. We discovered this room together when I was a student. Deke has had a good deal of experience, both here at Hogwarts and at a previous post. I shall let Deke tell you more when he's ready, but again, you would be wise to listen to any suggestions he may have.
Can I use this type of transfiguration magic outside of the room?
Conjuring and vanishing are strictly forbidden elsewhere in the castle. We've charms in place to enforce that. It would be exhausting to reverse the errors in both judgment and magic. But the Room of Requirement has its own rules.
I will be sure to speak with Deke if I need anything. Thank you.
Good luck. I shall linger a bit longer in case you'd like to learn another transfiguration spell for use in the room.
I'm ready for the next lesson, Professor.
Very well. First, you'll need to gather some moonstone. You can acquire it by vanishing items here in the Room of Requirement, or you can gather it carefully outside of the Hogwarts grounds. Return to me once you've gathered enough, and we shall begin the lesson.
I have the moonstone you requested, Professor.
Good. Then we may begin your lesson. You can conjure more than potions and herbology tables. Conjuration can be used to decorate this space to your liking. Why don't you try it on the walls and floor? Good work. Shall we move on?
I've conjured everything I can. What's next, Professor?
I think you're ready to take on alteration. The altering spell will allow you to customize any conjured item. You can change the colors, patterns, and styles of your furniture to suit your taste. Let's get started, shall we? Watch closely as I demonstrate how to perform the altering spell. Just aim your wand at an item and perform the altering spell to customize it. Nicely done. Now you're ready for something a little more advanced. You can use the altering spell directly on the room's architecture. Try these new designs on the floor or balcony. Your space might benefit from a bit of ambiance, don't you think? Deke, would you mind?
Of course, Professor Weasley. Professor Weasley showed Deke this bit of magic some years ago. Deke thinks you'll enjoy it. Come and talk to Deke when you're ready.
Professor Weasley said I should ask you about changing the room's ambience?
Of course. What sort of overall look most appeals to you?
I'd like the room to feel natural and earthy, as though I'm outdoors.
Oh, sounds perfect.
Quite a difference. Of course, you needn't keep this style if you don't like it. You can always ask Deke to change it back. Now you have learnt a good bit about alteration.
Thank you, Professor. The room is full of possibilities.
Indeed. No matter how much time I spend here, the room always manages to surprise me. even bigger space.
How did that happen?
The room equips itself to your needs. It must have sensed that you needed more space to practice spellcasting. If you'd like to customize the space further, you can use these spellcrafts. You'll find more of them both inside and outside the school.
Thank you, Professor. I shall keep an eye out.
Good. I'll leave you to it. This is your space now. Use it wisely.
Revelio.
Accio. 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 Revelio. Accio. I'd like to ask you about changing the room's ambience.
Of course. What sort of overall look most appeals to you?
I would like the room to feel as if it's being lit by the moon.
Oh, sounds perfect.
Well, I think that's going to do it for me today. Appreciate you for tuning in, and if you watched this after it was live, appreciate you watching. If you like the stream, feel free to leave a like, and if you want to see more, subscribe, and I'll catch you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.